Alli.
And Mom.
And Mom.
Mom.
And this is Truck Talks with the Alli Rian and Mom.
And Mom.
And we're going to be answering some questions that we're asking each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with 2 because we're gonna do the secret one that's no longer secret because you've answered it like twice already. I know I'm revealing secrets, but it's okay.
How dare you? They're not supposed to. We're supposed to be perfect.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Well.
We won't tell them how many times we've had to restart. Anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. I found one. Goodness gracious, where did it go? What are you afraid that people see when they look at you?
Oh, my teeth.
Oh wow.
My teeth. I never want people, because I feel like I look like such. I feel like I look older when people don't see my teeth, like when I'm not smiling like fully and stuff. Because I can definitely tell the difference. Like when I'm in a conversation with somebody older, like I'll keep more of a tight smile, like, you know, a closed smile. But like with kids, like I'll smile like with my teeth and stuff, like trying to be friendly and things. And you know, the difference of what they say my age is like, they're like, oh, are you like 14 or something? And like adults are like, oh, are you like 18? And my teeth are just also just an insecurity of mine, which I'm fixing with clear braces, so that won't be a problem anymore.
You know,
but
everybody has those though. You know, like I could name, my list would probably be like a million miles long of things that I'm insecure about. But I think what we all need to remember is that, you know, God made us beautiful, and I think we have a weird. I think we live in deception, honestly, because I think what happens is we look at ourselves in the mirror and we see and we hear all these bad things about ourselves. You know, why don't you look like this, or why? And we're always comparing, which is bad too. I want to tell a story, but I feel like it's gonna draw it out. Are you okay if I tell a little story?
Yeah.
Okay, it's about you.
Oh, of course it is.
Remember when you were in NAM and you went up?
Yeah.
National American Miss. It's kind of a beauty pageant for kids. I don't know if they consider it a beauty pageant. It's more
They
like
say it's not a beauty pageant, but I really question how else they're going to like pick someone to win, because like they have like 50 girls who go on the stage and they'll have them go in like formal dresses and have them interview and stuff. But really, unless you're like looking for a spokesperson, which is like kind of what I'm thinking that they are basing everything off of, unless you're doing that, there's no really real way to like pick, unless they rate them off their looks, which isn't everybody's beautiful in the same, like everybody's on the same level. But I think worldly views, I think people make one certain feature like more prominent than the rest for whatever reason. I don't agree with it, but
you basically told the gist of the meaning of the story that I was going to tell, but I'll go ahead and tell it anyway.
Okay.
Because I think
okay.
No, I'm glad you did. I'm glad that you mentioned that. But the experience of sitting there in the theater and watching these, I mean, she was 9, 10, and there were all these beautiful little girls on this stage, and they're all different. They're all beautiful in their own way. They all had different looks, different features, different. But I remember sitting in the audience going, how in the world could those judges pick just one? You couldn't look at any of those girls and go, well, she's more beautiful than her, or she's more beautiful than her.
Right, and that's why I'm saying that it could have been more of a spokesmodel. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. If somebody's more extroverted and able to, like, talk to people better, or being clear, that's the only way I could actually, like, perceive, like, them picking someone. It's like a job interview. But still, like, they had, you know, the formal dress, and if it wasn't supposed to be about that, they shouldn't have had that stuff. They should just been like. So our camera turned off in the middle of our
discussion.
Yeah. Yeah, it got too hot, so we needed to turn it off and move the car so it wasn't like directly in the sunlight. But you were talking about my experience with NAM.
Right.
Yeah. So, and
just seeing all the girls on stage, you know, how beautiful they were, and thinking, how can you choose? And I feel like God kind of put it in my heart that that's the way life is. We sit in life and we look at people, and we're always, you know, if you don't have the right mindset, if you don't have the right idea that all women are beautiful and all men are handsome, and God made them specifically for different purposes and reasons, and that's why we look different. then you kind of miss the fact that, you know, not all beauty is the same as I kind of look at beauty the way that we look at beauty, as somebody created a standard, and that standard is what we all are trying to compare
It's
ourselves
like the dog
to.
show.
Yeah, but yeah, I get mad at the dog show. I don't like the dog show. Because there's so many dogs that are just, how can you choose? How do you choose between all these dogs that are sweet and loving and furry and cute, and you go, this one's the best? How do you do that? And it's all because somebody creates a standard that says,
there's a
well,
mold
this is
that you have to fit.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of problems that is caused because we have a mold to fit. I remember being at NAM and I didn't win. I was nowhere close to winning. But I picked up my dress when I walked, so I lost points for that anyway.
Well, yeah, you could lose points for a bunch of stuff.
Oh yeah. But I remember like coming out of there and all of the girls who I knew were crying. I was like one of the only girls who wasn't crying because I lost. Like it was because it was kind of a detrimental experience. I mean, I went twice, and twice all of the girls were crying, and I remember I actually still talk to her today. Her name's Lizzie. And I remember meeting her in the meeting her in like the bathroom while doing our makeup and stuff. And like she just kind of opened up to me, like saying that she was like really nervous about NAM and things. You know, I just started talking to her and we became like instant friends. And I still talk to her today, and it's like really cool to still have that connection. But yeah.
I remember I'm gonna kind of boast a little bit about
you know, there's
you.
a reason why I didn't say anything
I
about it.
But after NAM, I remember Alli was going up to all the kids and she was trying to comfort them, and really, I mean, I'm not going to boast about you because it's Jesus. It's what God put in your heart to do. You went up and it was just the love of Jesus that had you going from person to person to person, you know, encouraging them and saying, hey, you know, you're beautiful, you did a really good job. And they did. The fact is that none of this was about just trying to make somebody feel better. All of it was because the truth is that each and every one of those girls could have been the one that won the pageant. And I think that that's the sad part about the kind of setup that they have, is that you have people that are assuming that they didn't make the cut or they weren't good enough, and that's not true at all. The truth is that they're more than capable of winning. They're more. They've got so many gifts and so many talents and so much beauty in them that all of them could have won. And I think that that's what I was seeing when I was sitting in the audience. I was literally kind of astounded at the idea of a judge being able to pick one of these beautiful girls, one of these sweet, and you'd see the sweetness in them, you'd see the excitement in them. I mean, you know, all of them were so happy and so excited to be there. It was really heartbreaking to watch these girls walk out of that place with their heads down, because none of them should have had their heads down.
But I can tell you why they were so sad, because they went into that pageant like wanting to be Cinderella. Like they felt like that was their Cinderella moment, and I feel like I saw that in a lot of the girls. This is gonna sound really bad. I just wanted an excuse to dress up and walk on stage in a pretty dress, and meet people, and I spent about $700 doing that each time.
It is rather expensive.
Bad idea.
It's
Bad
very,
idea.
very
I can go and get like a $50 dress and then have my mom take pictures of me and save a ton of money. I don't need to do it. She needs to do it, but yeah, she does.
I do. But I think that the reason why you came out of that unscathed is because truly in your heart you already knew that God had made you a princess, that God had made you. And I think you're right. I think people are looking for that, you know, validation. The idea that, you know, I think I'm beautiful inside, I feel beautiful inside, but I need somebody to show that. Or somebody to back that up for me. And I think that that's what most people do throughout their lives. They're looking for people to back up what somehow they know deep inside that they are. And I think what you find a lot of times is people aren't willing to back that up. They're willing to tear you down. And when you do get torn down, I mean, I'm going to say, I don't think NAM is a good setup. I think that there are a lot of people that would walk out of that experience and go, what's wrong with me? I need to change. I need to do something different. And the truth is you don't have to change anything. I think the only thing that I would encourage people to ever do to change is to stop believing that you're not good enough and be the person that God put inside.
Because
Follow
you know
what God put in your heart.
The only time people are ever really ugly is when they're hiding behind a mask that it's not them and it looks fake.
Yeah.
And fake is ugly.
Fake is ugly, but beauty is really about being who God made you to be, in what you believe, in what you think, in how you talk, in what you look like. I think we're all beautiful because God doesn't make ugly things. I mean, okay, we're getting very deep into this. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. Look at animals. You know, there are people that think that there are certain animals that I even don't want to say the name of, honestly. But they think that they're beautiful. I mean, they look at them and they're really fascinated by them.
She cuddles with tarantulas.
Okay, that's a great example because I would not cuddle with anything that has more than 4 legs, probably.
Not even a centipede?
Yeah, no. Yeah, anything with more than 4 legs. I think that's
I think as long as I know that they're not going to kill me, I could pet it.
Well, you're weird. But anyway. I love you. Okay. No, but seriously, like I personally wouldn't want to have a pet tarantula, but I would love to have, you know, furry, four-legged animal. Oh.
You love your Kit Kats.
But that's what I'm saying. There are people out there that see beauty, and I think that that's true for human beings too. I think that when, for instance, women and men, when they find people that they're supposed to be with for the rest of their lives, what you're really looking for is that other person that has been given that connection with you, that they see the amazing things that God put in you for you. And not that you have to try to be somebody else, but they want the real you. They want how you look, they want how you talk, they want how you think, they want how you believe, they want what you're passionate about. And I think that's what we're all really looking for in a significant other. I mean, I
think that's why we all look different. I think we're literally made for like one other person to like see the extreme beauty. Like
that's a question. Do you believe in soulmates?
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay. Like if I were to like illustrate this, like how God, because like they talk about how when people get married they're one. So I kind of always think that there's like this somehow like spiritual like orb. Like, go with me on this. This doesn't really make any sense, but if I were to put it, and he like kind of splits it in half, and like one is male, one's female, and you know they're put into two different bodies and stuff. But I think that that's what the one is. I think that people come together with purposes that work with each other, with like-mindedness. That's a really big thing. Like-mindedness is the only thing that's really gonna lead to romance if we're gonna get. That's
like-mindedness.
We're going down a rabbit hole.
Are you talking about me because you know I'll get and
I just know us.
Yeah.
We spend about 3 hours just talking about my love life in general and how it relates to the rest of the world. So if we're just talking about everyone's love life in general, I feel like we're gonna be here for 6 hours.
Well, I think when we talk about your love life, we're actually talking about ideologies that you have to combat or you have to accept in order to function properly.
I've had a lot of weird experiences, so I always like come to my mom and we like have to analyze them for hours.
Not that I mind analyzing.
No,
I rather enjoy it.
It's our pastime. Like my life is like a movie for her to watch and figure out the characters in my life, because I have no clue. I'm still figuring out me. Actually, no. I know who I am. I think I just second guess myself.
If I'm honest though, I think having those kinds of conversations is needed, which is the whole reason why we're doing this. Because people don't talk about how to navigate life. We assume that people know things. It's kind of interesting, you know, that
we always assume that people think like us.
I don't even know if it's that. I kind of think that people assume that somebody else taught us things. You know what I mean? Or somebody else let us in on that information. Right. If there's even information to be had, or we feel bad in ourselves because we don't understand things to the point that we're supposed to, but we assume that everybody else knows, and so we don't want to look like we're inadequate. Now that's not me personally, because I'm kind of I like to ask a lot of questions anyway, and I ask God a lot of questions. And it's really interesting.
We like to ask questions. It gets us in trouble with other people who don't want questions asked, but we ask them anyway.
Yeah, well, that's true. And relationship-wise, it does get interesting.
It's hard for us to have relationships because we're the type of people who will want to know you as an entire being.
Yeah.
And people like to keep things under wraps. Like, okay, we're weird because we want people to trust us completely while we have a really, really hard time trusting other people to know us completely.
You know, that's kind of an INFJ.
That's what I'm pulling from.
I know,
it's the only way I can actually explain it, because before I would have just been like, I don't trust people, but I want them to trust me. Does that make sense?
But I don't agree with you on that, because I don't think that me personally, now I could be weird. Maybe I'm just a weird INFJ, which would make me even weirder because anyway.
She's half 1% of the population.
I don't. But I think that when I get around people that I know I can trust, like with you, there's so many things that I tell you that I'm like, wow, that's really embarrassing. I can't believe I just told her that. But then I tell you and I'm like, you know what, but that's what I want. Like, even though it's tough sometimes.
Well, I tell you everything. Not that I should. She's my mother, but I tell her everything and it's bad.
Yeah, she tries to keep things from me and she just can't.
Go Muppety, and then she knows, and then I have to open my stinking mouth because I don't want to lie. I just think if I walk into the house and don't say anything that I'm not lying, then it's like just something that wasn't asked. And then she asks me questions, and she doesn't low road understand that I don't want questions asked.
No, look, if there's something that you need time to process, I'm not going to be upset. But if it's something, and if you have to keep secrets, like if there's something that you just don't feel comfortable talking to me about, I don't want you to tell me. But what I do want is I want you to know that you can always talk to me, and that you can say things. And
there was a funny time when my parents came into my room, and they sat down on my bed, and they were like, Allie, we need to talk. I thought I was in trouble. I thought I did something. I don't know what I did, but I thought I did something wrong. And they looked me in the eye, and they said, Allie, you can have your privacy. You deserve privacy. I was like, what teenager has their parents come into their room and say, you know what, you deserve a little privacy?
Yeah. But that kind of speaks to the type of young person. I don't even want to say young person. The type of person you are. I've never looked at you and gone, oh, she's trying to hide stuff. I mean, there's times when I know that there's things that you're not really comfortable talking about, and if I think it's something that needs to be said, then I will.
There are times where I know that there's like times I've reacted in situations where I'm like, oh, I was gonna get me crap for this. Like, I understand that it wasn't the greatest of ideas. Like, it's not bad. Like, it's not like it doesn't harm anyone, but I know that like she's gonna be like, Allie, you're smarter than that. I don't want to go down that conversation, so I'll try and keep it from her, but then she'll ask me questions.
I can kind of tell, like right away, like as soon as
she feels what I feel. And I always, when I feel like I'm keeping a secret, I'll feel like a bad feeling to put in my throat. Like, not that I want to gross anybody out, like I'm gonna throw up, like I'm like gonna literally throw up the whole story because I can't keep it down, which I might turn to like writing stuff in books so I don't have to tell. And then one day just know that I'm just gonna pass it on to you after I move out of the house and I have no way.
This is my confession. There you go.
all those
years,
years, there's gonna be like one page. It's be like, remember that time when I told you I was texting someone, but I was really texting someone else? Yeah.
All of your reasons. Here's how I see it. If you have a valid reason why you feel like not telling me is important to you, whether it's discomfort because you feel like it's embarrassing, or whether it's the idea that you're just not sure of how you want to handle things and you don't want to get me involved, or you don't want me to be in the mix because it's too complicated, or whatever.
Or I just want to have like my own personal memory. Sometimes things are better. Like, I think they mean more when it's like just kind of you that knows it.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's weird.
And you know what? Like, as you grow up, you're going to have relationships with people that you're going to feel like you're betraying them if you share them with me or whatever. And that's understandable. There's different dynamics with especially now that you're getting to the point where you're going to start probably getting into some of those more
she's talking about dating.
Deep relationships.
It's gone downhill for me for so long that it's not going back up.
I always tell you, the only things that I know that I require for you to tell us is anything that's going to be that could be dangerous or anything that is, you know.
Oh, I know that.
That you feel like I don't want you to ever walk around with guilt.
Right.
Guilt is awful, and if you
no, but you'll know when I'm guilty. Like you will know because I won't look good. I will look pale.
Like, you know, we talk to you guys or you know all the time about the idea that you know, if you see something that you shouldn't on the internet or whatever, that instead of holding on to it and trying to hide it from us, you just need to tell us. And I know personally I'm not going to get angry. I don't want, the worst thing in the world is to let that sit and simmer.
Oh, I know, but like things on the internet can pop up. Like you were there with me that one time when we were like looking up apps on the computer and like that photo just like popped up and it was like, remember that?
No, yeah.
It's just
and that wasn't, it's, you can't help it. There are people out there actively seeking out people to try and capture, you know, and get them to do these things. And but I just want you guys to know that if you ever see anything, I'm not going to get angry if you, and even if, like, you know, and I tell you guys, even if you think you're curious or you stumble upon something, I don't want you to turn around and go, oh my gosh, I can't tell mom, because the truth is that human nature is that curiosity sometimes gets the better of us, or sometimes we look at things and we think, well, what is that really? Or and the whole thing is that you have to be accountable, and if you're not accountable, then you have nobody there to lift you up and help you to get out of those bad things. And that's how people get caught in it. And you need to have somebody in your life that you can just be like, look, I did this, and know that they won't judge or get mad, but that you can get that off your chest.
She says that she won't get mad.
I don't think I would get, you know what I get mad about. There's like a handful of things that I get angry about.
If we catch you in the wrong time, you will get angry.
That's when, well, we've discussed this before, when I get to the point where I have like a to-do list that's 50 million miles long, and then you guys are like, I'm not going to clean up my room today, or I'm going to leave my coffee mugs.
She gets mad at me for leaving coffee mugs. You know what? There's so many things I could be doing. I could be doing drugs. I could be sneaking out. I could be drinking. No. What do I do? What do I do? I leave coffee mugs everywhere. Around my room.
Everywhere.
And she goes ballistic.
Everywhere. They're everywhere. But anyway, that's fine.
It's not like you're finding cigarettes. It's not like you're finding drugs. She finds coffee mugs.
I am a blessed mother. I have children that are so sweet, so amazing, and that is all God. That's not me. That's
Granted,
God.
I'm homeschooled, so I really don't have an outlet to get all of that stuff. So like my school consists of 6 people, and my teacher and my principal.
It's good.
There's no shady guy in the corner handing out whatever.
Although Kit does have a problem with popsicles, so
that's
you could. I mean, and ice cream sandwiches apparently now that we have them in the kitchen.
Okay, so our drug is sugar and caffeine.
Yeah, that's true. We do tend to.
We're so bad.